95% of who we are is on autopilot, right? It's a programmed thoughts, hardwired thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, unconscious habits and behaviors, and really emotional responses that tend to be really knee-jerk and automatic, right? So if 95% of who we are is a set of unconscious programs, then the first step to change is becoming conscious of those unconscious thoughts. Now, people think when they sit down to do the work and make their change that they're doing something wrong. No, those thoughts have to come up. I'm not worthy, it's never going to work. But the person who's truly persevering towards their abundance realizes just because they have that thought doesn't mean it's true. They're curious on what's on the other side of that thought. Well, that's just the thought, right? Mm-hmm. And nerve cells that no longer fire together no longer wire together. So you keep moving past that thought, it has less and less power over you, right? Now you have power over it, or better yet, you're using your brain in the proper way instead of being a victim to your brain, sure. Right? If you complain about money, if you judge people who have it, if you rush when you're in lack, if you cheat when you don't have what you need, an abundant person doesn't do that. You got to look at that and say, I got to break these habits. Yes. Oh my God, if I truly want to be abundant, I can't act this way. Now here's the big one. If I truly want to be a new personality that's in a new personal reality, I can't take lack with me. I can't take unworthiness. I can't take the story that goes along with it with my parents or my grandparents or my ex or whatever. That story has to end, right? I mean, if not now, when, right?
How do people end those stories?
Well, of course. Well, how many times do we have to forget until we stop forgetting and start remembering?
Right.
That's the game, right? Mm-hmm. That's the game called change. How many times do we have to go unconscious and default to that old personality when we catch ourselves and stop doing that and get conscious? That's the moment of change.
Mm-hmm.
If you're feeling stuck and nothing seems to change in your life, take a look at your surroundings. Are they controlling how you feel and think? Imagine this. Someone asks why you're upset and you blame it on someone else. But in reality, you're letting that person control your emotions and thoughts. You're stuck in a victim mindset, letting your environment dictate how you feel. But what if you flip that around? What if you realize that your feelings and thoughts shape your environment? When you understand this, you become less reactive to others because you know you're in control. You start to see yourself as the creator of your life, not just a victim of it. Think about past experiences that left you hurt or scared. Those intense emotions can get stuck in your body, affecting your health. To change this, you need to create even stronger positive emotions. It's like knocking on the door of your genes and telling them to switch things up for the better. And guess what? Science backs this up. In a study, people were able to change their gene expression just by changing their internal state. This led to improvements in things like brain growth, cell repair, and overall health. So don't let your environment control you. Take charge of your thoughts and feelings and watch how your life transforms. Our students were so deep in their thoughts during meditation that their brains acted as if they were really experiencing what they imagined. If they could change their gene activity in a few days, think about what you could achieve with regular meditation over weeks. Using a special breathing method, you can release old emotions stored in your body from years of thinking and feeling the same way. By practicing new emotions every day, you'll make these positive feelings your new normal. Your brain will start thinking differently, matching these uplifting emotions. When you realize you're signaling new genes and creating proteins that change how your body works, everything you do gains more significance. This leads to better outcomes. Scientists say we only use a tiny fraction of our DNA, with the rest often called junk DNA. But in biology, there's a rule that says nature doesn't waste anything it won't use. So if this junk DNA is there, it must have a purpose. Think of your genes like a library full of possibilities waiting for you to activate them. There are genes for all sorts of amazing things, from boosting your brain power to keeping you youthful. It's all within your reach if you can imagine it and get creative. When you activate any of these genes before the environment triggers them, your body can do amazing things. It starts making new proteins, boosting your life force. So when I tell you to feel certain uplifting emotions, it's like you're sending a message to your genes, asking them to unlock their potential. Most people rely on outside things like getting a dopamine hit or feeling adrenaline to control their emotions. But here's the twist. I want you to dive into your heart and feel grateful for things before they even happen. I know it sounds strange, but that's because we're used to thinking in a certain way. When you learn to create harmony in your heart and control your emotions, magic happens. With a calm mind, you can visualize your future and actually feel the emotions you'll have. And guess what? If you can feel grateful before you're healed, your healing journey begins. If you feel abundant before you're wealthy, you start attracting abundance. It's like a law of nature. If you love yourself and life, you'll receive love in return. If you're amazed by life, you'll have amazing experiences. And if you feel empowered, you'll move closer to success. So instead of waiting for the outside world to change your inner world first. This isn't some wishful thinking, it's science. Your coherent heart creates a magnetic field that can reach several meters wide. It's like having your own Wi-Fi signal for positivity. When your brain is in sync, it can pick up on the messages your heart sends out. So, if you're feeling positive emotions like thinking about your wealth or health, those vibes can travel through your body's frequency. Emotions are like the end result of how we experience things. According to epigenetics, it's the environment that tells our genes what to do. So, when your environment triggers emotions, you're actually signaling your genes before anything happens. Now, if you keep up that positive state, your body starts believing and acting like that person you're imagining. We've seen this in people who meditate regularly. After just a week, most of them show changes in their body's chemistry. But here's the thing. Our usual thoughts and feelings keep us stuck in the same cycle, leading to the same behaviors and outcomes. If we want things to change, we have to switch up how we think, feel, and act. We need to become someone new, with a fresh mindset and outlook. From a quantum perspective, we're shifting our whole being to match a different reality. Once we align our energy with that potential reality, we'll start moving towards it. It can be frustrating when life feels like it's stuck on repeat, but as long as we stay the same, nothing will change. To change our lives, we have to change our energy, shift our thoughts and feelings. It's like recalibrating ourselves to send out a different signal, just like a laser beam. When our thoughts and feelings are aligned, we become more powerful and can attract new opportunities. Think about how many times you've wanted to achieve something, believing it's possible in your mind, but feeling doubtful in your heart. What happened then? Why didn't things work out? It's like sending out a confused message to the universe. If your intentions and feelings aren't in sync, you won't see consistent results. Let's say you dream of wealth, but deep down, you feel poor. That conflicting signal confuses the universe. Thoughts speak to the brain, while feelings communicate with the body. When they're at odds, the universe doesn't know how to respond. But when your thoughts and feelings align, magic happens. You send out a clear message to the universe. And here's the exciting part. The outcomes you engage in various practices like meditation, affirmations, and visualization. You're in survival mode. In survival mode, you rush to do things and can't really be in the moment. You feel anxious, like everything is scary. Now let's talk about dealing with stress. Watching too much news can make you feel overwhelmed. So what can you do when you're feeling stressed? Well, when we feel threatened, our bodies go into survival mode, which throws us off balance. So the key is to calm down. Take a moment to slow your heart rate and think calmly. That way, you can make better decisions. When you're in survival mode, you feel like you need to hurry and get things done. You can't really focus on the present because you're caught up in feelings of fear or anger. Your body's emergency system is turned on, preparing you for something unpredictable and beyond your control. This survival mode taps into your body's resources for short-term needs, but if it happens too often, you become accustomed to this rush of energy. Teaching people how to regulate themselves, how to come back to the present moment, and how to shorten their stress responses is crucial. It's not about stopping reactions altogether, but rather about not letting them drag on endlessly. By learning to manage your reactions, you become less affected by your environment and more able to create positive change. This process involves shifting from fear to other emotions and doing the necessary work to practice self-regulation. When you do this, you gain energy instead of losing it. This energy boosts your immune system, helping your body fight off illnesses more effectively. When you're less emotionally reactive, you become more resilient physically as well. Empowering people with this knowledge allows them to make different choices and create new experiences. By applying what they learn, they can step away from their old habits and become their best selves. It's all about embracing change and growth. When certain people misunderstand or try to attack the information I share, it used to really bother me. But now, I've learned not to let it affect me as much. What matters is that even if I do react, I find my way back to my heart and learn from the experience. It's all about self-regulation and getting back to a place of love and peace. When I do get triggered, I take a moment to step back and disengage from the situation. I remind myself that reacting isn't going to help me create a better future. Instead, I focus on reconnecting with my heart. I close my eyes, breathe deeply, and consciously shift my beliefs to ones that serve me better. By slowing down my breath and calming my mind, I can regain control and stay centered in the present moment. This practice helps me stay grounded and respond from a place of love, even in challenging situations. So, once I reconnect with my heart, I focus on the emotions I want to bring into my future. Whether it's gratitude, freedom, or joy, I tune into that energy and let it fill my heart. By doing this regularly, I've become familiar with this positive energy, making it easier to access. Sometimes, it only takes a minute or two to get back to this state, while other times it may take longer. But regardless, it always feels better when I do. I've seen so many incredible transformations in my work over the years. One story that stands out is about a nurse from London who had a stroke that caused blindness in both eyes. Despite being told by doctors that her condition might not improve, she decided to attend one of my events. Initially, she was more interested in learning how to cope with her blindness than in healing it. However, halfway through the event, she felt inspired to try healing her vision. During a meditation session, she experienced a crackling sensation in her brain, followed by a temperature change. When she opened her eyes afterward, she realized that her vision had completely returned. Medical scans confirmed the miraculous recovery, showing no signs of blindness anymore. Did you ever have or witness anyone else having miraculous experience like this or a similar one? Do you think it's even possible? Share your thoughts below the videos and tell us your experiences. When something good happens to you or is happening, you feel grateful. That feeling of gratitude is like a signal to your body that something positive is or will happen. Interestingly, your body doesn't distinguish between experiences that create emotions and emotions you create with your thoughts alone. It treats them the same way. So, when you feel gratitude, your body believes good things are on the way or have already occurred. Gratitude is like the perfect emotional state for receiving. By embracing gratitude for our future, we make it feel more real because it matches the emotions we're experiencing. We're essentially feeling the emotions of the future before it actually happens. Practicing gratitude for just 10, 15 minutes a day can strengthen your immune system by 50%. This is because it activates a gland in your heart that signals your body to boost its defenses. On the flip side, when people are in a state of fear, they're more likely to accept and believe information that matches that emotion. This can lead to limited behaviors and negative thought patterns. But when you practice gratitude, you start to change the information your body receives, programming it for a positive future. During challenging times when it feels like there's a lack of opportunities and uncertainty about the future, shifting from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset can be tough but essential. Personally, I see such moments as opportunities in disguise, challenging us to rise to a higher level of awareness and consciousness. Instead of succumbing to fear and focusing on what we lack, we must tap into a greater awareness and invent new ways to navigate our circumstances. It's about refusing to be victims of our situation and actively creating new realities. Rather than giving power to our fears, we need to redirect our attention towards creating positive change. It's about seeing challenges as opportunities for collective growth and connection, transcending the illusion of separation. Just like birds flying in formation or fish swimming in schools, we can come together as a collective consciousness, each contributing to a greater whole. It's not about waiting for a leader, but about everyone stepping up and demonstrating courage and creativity. This shift in perspective can lead to a mindset of abundance.